Tom, thanks for joining us. First of all, we've seen that a few members of the squad, including yourself, have been back at the training ground recently. Just talk us through what you've been doing and what you've been able to do.
We've been like obviously with midfielders at the minute. Obviously, strikers go their own group, midfielders and defenders. So we've just been doing like passing drills, driving with a ball, bit of short and sharp stuff, and then I've been doing a bit of running afterwards.
Perfect. And does that sort of suit you, just working with the midfielders where you can sort of really work together and bring out the best in each other?
Yeah, I think it's really good, to be fair. There's not really a time really I've ever done that, just working with midfielders. But you get a good understanding with your partner, whoever it may be. Obviously, we've got a lot of midfielders, so it'd be nice to see what connections we've got, what partnerships we will have, obviously in coming weeks or next season.
And even though it's not been full training, how nice has it been to be back with some of your teammates after having to train from home for so long?
Yeah, it's been really good to see the lads, obviously with social distancing with the situation. But yeah, it's been really nice to see the lads. Obviously, it's been a long period when we would have off in off season. I don't know how long it's been now. It's been like 11 weeks, is it, or so? Which is, it's nice to be back on the training ground with the balls and that. There's only enough you can do really on your own. Obviously, Jeff, we're like a Strava app that he posts every Sunday night, where you got a week in advance where he gives you some running drills where you can go off on your own, and you just put it on the app, and it obviously shows you how much you've done, and like biking, running. But yeah, it was difficult without the ball, because obviously that's what we usually do. But to keep your fitness up, that's what we did really. And it really helped, obviously, people like me really, because it's hard to get up in the morning to think I've got to do a run, my own run, when I've got advice there and things I can go off.
Yeah, and even when you are being set specific drills to do, is it one of those things where the sort of self-discipline comes into it, and it's quite challenging from that respect as well?
Yeah, I've done it. Obviously, I've done it many years now, so it's like it is hard. You've always got to do it after you go on holiday. After the season, you have a few weeks off, and you got to go back into it. Keep ticking over. But when it's been this long period, the first 6-7 weeks was really hard. Sometimes you don't really want to get up because you don't know not get up, but do running, and because you don't know what the aim is, and we're just ticking over, like obviously like all the lads have been doing it, just doing your own bits really, and keeping in shape. But now obviously it's looking good, and we're into like bigger groups now.
And where you have been returning to training, is it a bit like pre-season where some of the lads have come back raring to go and some need a bit of work, or has everybody managed to keep themselves pretty fit?
I think, well, we've got a group chat, and everyone, we always speak like, obviously, if you're keeping fit, and I think everyone's been doing their own bit. And when the first lockdown was, I think everyone still kept on it, which is good. And we've been back in now, and it's been really good, and everyone looks sharp, ready to go. And now we've got that chance to get in the playoff thing, which everyone's buzzing about, and can't wait to get started again.
Is that, as captain as well, there's a bit of responsibility on you to make sure that everybody's staying in contact and you're still sort of communicating with your teammates?
Yeah, we obviously with the we've got a big group chat, and we always talk every day if we're having banter or what everyone's been up to. Like you said, obviously I speak to Mark and the gaffer probably every week since the lockdown, and like keep me up to date, and I've just got to forward it on to the lads and tell them what the plan is, and just keep them in loop with things really. And yeah, it's the organisation's been spot on really, obviously with communication and everything like that. And like I said, as captain, I've just got to tell the lads what's going off, and like really tell them that there is a chance, and we can like get playing again.
Yeah, and in terms of next season, it's looking like we might get a decision at the start of next week, hopefully. We've been waiting so long for that decision to come. From a player's point of view, how frustrating has it been just not knowing what's going to happen?
Yeah, it has really been frustrating, especially when we just wanted to know if the season was going to happen, still happen. If we're going to like play the remaining of the games, that never really been has really been talked about. Which like it was a waiting game really, and when I think about 3 weeks ago when I heard that there's a chance we could do the playoffs, and there was some things we were wanting in the playoffs with like weighted points per game or whatever it was, and we were just outside the playoffs, and now doing that, is it unweighted points per game, is it? Yeah. So when we knew we was going to be in the playoffs, and that was the probably ideal situation that they're going to conclude the season, and it was just nice to know that back in your mind that we will have a chance to play again, and we got a massive chance to get promoted.
Yeah, and as you say, one of the possibilities going into a playoff campaign, if that was to be the case, how confident would you be going into that?
I'm very confident, especially with the team we have. Everything about the club is there for it. We should be in the championship anyway. So last season was a bit disappointed, and everyone felt that when they were going to summer break. They didn't want it to happen again last season or this season coming, and we were ready to go last season, and now we've got this chance to do so, and we want to take it with both hands, and hopefully all the lads are eager to get promoted like I am. I've come down here to get Portsmouth back in the championship.
You touched on it there, but as you say, people were slightly disappointed with how last season ended. Does that give you the motivation that you need going into this playoff campaign, that you want to go all the way?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, last season was really disappointing because we still had a chance of getting automatic. The Peterborough game was a bit of a really like frustrating, a disappointing game, and if we would have won that game, I'm sure we would have won the Acca game at home, and we're in a different situation, like in a different boat now. But that was it's gone now. That has, and we didn't have the best of starts this season. Obviously, a few fresh faces came in, a few big names left, which was obviously it was hard to replace them, but it took its time, and like I said, now the team is like gelled. Really, we've had a great middle part of the season where we got right back up there, and like I said, this season we don't want to think about we're going to be in League One next season if we don't get promoted. We want to take it. We want to push on and try and get promoted.
Have you had a look at the teams around you at all that you could be taking on in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's Oxford, Wycombe, and Fleetwood. Is it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're playing. I think it's Oxford. Our first. We'll play Oxford. I think. Which they're there for a reason. They're not there for obviously because they're not very good or anything like that. They're there because they're doing well this season. And we've played Fleetwood a few times this season. And it's been our games, and like Wycombe as well. It was a tough game away at Wycombe. And then Oxford, we should have won Oxford. To be fair, they're well organised. They are. Obviously, they got a good manager, some experienced lads in there. Like I said, we should have won that game then at home, but they scored the last minute equaliser, which was disappointing. But like I said, I think anyone game in the playoffs, and we just got to be up for it.
When we do get games back, it will be a new normal with no fans, socially distanced, team talks, goal celebrations, etc. What would be the strangest thing for you, do you think, working in that environment?
I think the strangest one would be if we played at Fratton and there was no fans there. Like warming up every time we went out, they give you a buzz. Like even when you like went out the tunnel, And then when the match start, before they kick off, they're so loud and really get behind you. And that's probably going to be the one where it's going to be a bit weird with no fans. Not sure where we would play that yet. There's no concrete place where we're going to play, but I think, like you said, with the celebration, and it's going to be hard not to. If we get promoted, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard one where if we do get promoted to the Championship, it's going to be hard not to celebrate with the boys. I know we can't really celebrate with the fans and like we would want to if we do get promoted, but that's just the way the situation is at the minute. And obviously, once the lockdown's over and everything's eased off, I'm sure we'll be able to. We'll be able to celebrate with their fans and it's a big if we get promoted.
And just looking back on the season so far, obviously you've been club captain. How have you found that, and how have you settled into that role?
I've loved it. Like the day one when the gaffer gave it me, I was honoured and buzzing that that's my responsibility now for other lads, and I like to think that the lads respect me. Before I even got the captaincy, I get along with everyone. So yeah, I think that I've always wanted to be a captain. I've never really had a chance to be one because after I've been in teams where there was a lot more experienced players when I was a bit younger. I've always had the attributes where I'm a leader on the pitch. Like talking, even like when I was young, I was like talking to the experienced lads and telling them like obviously what to do and like on the pitch. And so yeah, I've always wanted to be one, and I'm just honoured to be one at the size of this club and make it continue.